Oklahoma weather expert, Lacey Swope.
From the Bob Mills Weather Center.
You got it.
All right.
You're
always there. Cool start, Lace.
We live here, and we love it here in the Bob Mills Weather Center. Hannah's just behind me. Storm's about to walk in,
of course. Cots in the Bob Mills Weather Center.
We do, and it's home to us. We are starting off cold this morning. We really are. There he goes. There he goes. He always has to take the path. Got to see your good side, Storm. Thanks for that. There's Hannah. There's Hannah.
There's Hannah.
Here we are. And it's a cold morning. It really is. For folks that work outdoors, are going to be hanging out really for the next hour or so. It's in the 30s. You want the coat, maybe even the hat, the gloves for just a little while. Winds are actually very light. They're calm in many locations. No major wind chill factor, but it is well below average to start the day. And there's another cold front headed our way, but this one is so weak as it moves on by. A wind shift is about all it will do. It's pretty quiet across the country for now, but there are some big changes, big pattern shifts actually, as we head into next week. Now this morning, patchy frost across north central, northeastern, eastern, and even southern Oklahoma. Few areas have dipped down to freezing up near Payne County. Lake Carl Blackwell, the mesonet there, dipped to 29 degrees this morning. 32 in Nowata, made it to 32 in Bernieville and Sulphur, so a very light freeze there. Most of central western Oklahoma well above freezing. 38 degrees, but that's cold. That's what you'll feel as you step outside, and may have some patchy frost in several locations. The humidity is higher east of I-35. So 32 in Stillwater. We did make it to 32 in Oilton. It's 33 in Bristow, 36 in Seminole, 42 in Byers, Chickasha, 34, 44, 10 degrees warmer out in Weatherford. Now 40s, even some upper 40s. Woodward made it to 32 yesterday. You're 49 this morning, significantly warmer. 34 now in Blackwell, 32 in Red Rock, 34 in Ada, and we've got some 40s in the southwest. Now look at the winds, very light to calm. You get out west, the winds are a little bit stronger. That's why those temperatures are up compared to yesterday. Still creating wind chills in the 30s, but we're not seeing all the 20s like we had yesterday. So today, sun comes up at 7:38. Sunset will be at 6:53, and we have a spectacular October day. If you're taking the kids to a fall festival today, to some of the pumpkin patches, the corn mazes in north central Oklahoma, we're looking for sunny skies, 60s and 70s later on. It looks beautiful. Winds aren't crazy, not blowing the dust around today. 10 to 15. We may have a gust or two to 20. Highs will be low 70s, well, some 60s in the far east, but then 80s in the west and northwest, and the winds will be just a little stronger for folks in western Oklahoma. We need the rain. We've showed you you're well over a month without rain across most of western Oklahoma. Moisture is looking better and better as we get closer into next week. Still a long way away. You got to stay tuned to the forecast. One of the key players will be a storm system over Mexico, because the jet stream winds will help pull that up over Mexico and Texas, right over Oklahoma. Meanwhile, it will be timed with the trough coming in from the Pacific. So it's kind of two waves and two directions that we're watching colliding right over Oklahoma. Let me show it to you. There's the colder air, the trough building off towards the east. That weak front presses in tomorrow, not amounting to much. It moves by without much precip at all. May get a weak front pressing in on Saturday. Again, just a wind shift. One thing you notice is the oranges on the map. That's above average temperatures, 70s and 80s. And then what happens is the winds start to pick up next week. That tropical storm, maybe even a hurricane, blasts portions of Mexico, and then the southwest winds of the jet stream start to pull that up into Texas and over Oklahoma. Meanwhile, this short wave sets up off towards the west, comes down I-40. That ramps up the jet stream winds and actually could pose a severe risk as that thing arrives. So we're watching for that around Tuesday to Wednesday of next week. It moves by, and yet another system dips in here by the end of next week, providing again a chance for some heavy rain. Some of the latest data has several inches into next week, and we need it. Lows tonight under dry conditions, 40s and 50s. The front presses in tomorrow, 70s in the northwest, 80s along the boundary from Oklahoma City down to Lawton. And with the wind shift and low humidity, there is an elevated fire risk again tomorrow, moderate to a high risk into the afternoon. So we'll be talking more about that. Thursday, 70s and mid-80s on the way. 80s into the weekend before rain chances really start to increase as we get to about Tuesday to Wednesday. And that's your full forecast. Don't go anywhere. We're coming right back.